Welcome back to Flashpoint. Joining us now, a CMS teacher and advocate as well, Justin Parmenter. Justin, thanks for coming on. We appreciate it.
Thank you. It's great to be here.
You've said recently that a lot of CMS teachers, at least the ones you've spoken to, the ones who are part of the Educators Association, don't want this mask mandate lifted at this point.
That's accurate. Yeah, the polling that we've done of our members shows a large majority of people don't feel this is the right time to make masks optional in our schools.
And I struggle because on this show for the last 2 years, I have gotten criticized from people on both sides of the aisle because being a novice in such topics as public health, I have deferred to public health people, whether it's Anthony Fauci or whether it's Gibby Harris or Raynard Washington here locally. And if they are now saying, as our current health director has said, hey, I think it's okay now to lift some of these mask mandates, not only broadly across the community, but also at schools, I, as the host of Flashpoint, have trouble arguing with him because I have deferred to these people the entire time, no matter who's been criticizing them. So why, if they're saying this at this point, why is this not the time?
Well, I mean, it's a great question. And, I can't speak for anyone else but myself. I will say that I think part of the issue that with people's comfort level is just how much and how rapidly the guidance is changing. And, obviously I'm an English teacher. I also have to defer to people with backgrounds in epidemiology and follow the best guidance. But, if you think about the fact that just a month ago, we were at one of the worst points in this pandemic with news reports coming out about how, these cloth masks are useless. We all need N95s. The hospitals are all full. Like the spike of people becoming infected with COVID was terrifying. And in our classrooms, we were seeing huge chunks of our populations of students who were getting infected, a lot of staff infected. This is just a month ago. So to go from that point to now saying, okay, everybody, it's time to get back to normal. Let's all take our masks off. Without some trepidation on the part of staff members who are surrounded by hundreds of people every single day. I don't think it's realistic to expect people to shift their feelings that rapidly. And so, yes, we need to follow the guidance of the people who are best positioned to understand this pandemic. But I think at the same time, we need to have a little empathy and understanding for those who are charged with implementing our policies and who are the ones who are putting themselves at risk.
You mentioned empathy and understanding, and that's not something that always translates well to a 30-minute, political show on a Sunday morning. But it does strike me that we have been missing the last couple of years, especially in this mass debate at schools, a good faith effort from some sides, not all sides, to try to understand where the other people are coming from. And you've seen this, and you've seen parents get just irate at school board meetings across the country, not only on this issue, but issues of as like CRT and other things, which I don't want to talk about. But and I've seen teachers get equally frustrated and be second guessed. How did this happen? I don't feel like this is the way it used to be, and I feel like there was a good faith effort back and forth between teachers and members of the community about bringing kids up in the best possible way. And now it seems like the different parties are second guessing each other and questioning each other's motives.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. I mean, I don't think we're in a good place right now in terms of relationships between, the various players, I guess, in the kind of educational landscape. It feels to me like at the beginning of the pandemic, we had this very brief moment of time where there was mutual understanding and respect. We had people saying, wow, I can't believe how hard this thing is, when folks were trying to, transition to helping their children learn at home. There was this sort of moment of intense respect and admiration for educators, and then it was gone, and in the summer of 2020, we had this sort of battle over, should we be in person? Is it safe? And then, of course, the other issues coming up with charges of indoctrination and efforts to ban books and all that kind of thing. So we're definitely not in a good place right now. And I think, we need to get back to a place of mutual respect and understanding, and trying to be able to listen to people with differing points of view, and most of all, to be empathetic and understanding. I mean, the fact of the matter is, we've had North Carolina educators die of COVID. We've had students die of COVID. This virus has killed almost 1 million people in our country. It's serious and it's not a joke. And so for those who are every day, who are going into a high risk setting and trying to grapple with how do we handle that risk? How do we do what's right for our own families? How do we do what's right for our students? I mean, it's complicated, and it certainly doesn't help, when people are disrespectful to each other, when people are spreading conspiracy theories. And so I'm hopeful that as, hopefully we are really at the sort of transition between pandemic and epidemic. And hopefully as we ease out of this thing, we can get back to a better place.
What do you expect your Monday will look like when at that point at CMS schools across this county, masks will be optional?
That's the great unknown. And, there are so many different factors, and I played through this in my mind too, and just wondered what it's going to look like. I think children of all ages are intensely susceptible to peer pressure, and I don't know what direction that is going to go. So, I'm just going to cross my fingers and hope for the best.
Do you expect any sort of show of protest by by the Teachers Association, Educators Association?
I don't know. I mean, I think everyone is exhausted right now, and I think it's kind of a day at a time approach to this whole situation. So we'll have to see what happens on Monday morning.
And with that, we'll end the interview, because I think that might be the most accurate. So the thing that's been said on Flashpoint, everybody's just exhausted at this point. And I think that's very true. All right, Justin Parmenter, CMS teacher. Justin, thanks for coming on. We appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
All right, more Flashpoint after this.